Morning. Just going to try to do another abstract. I want to use up the paint on my palette. It's getting a bit thin now, but it floats up a lot of water. I was watching the channel that David Dickinson put me onto. It's, I'm sure some of you know, if you're interested in acrylic painting, or not, as the case may be. Jerry Yarnell, on YouTube. Very, very good painter, and he uses a lot of spray on his, but I think he's using artist quality. These are more or less thin enough, but I'm just going to have some fun with the paint now. So I'll spray, see what happens. I don't normally use a spray, not on this, I forget I've got it really. So I'm going to put in sort of a greeny, yellowy background. Now, as you can see, the water does help the flow, but my paint is very, very short, thin, but it doesn't matter. I just want to tint the board, sort of a grassy green. Have one hand on the on reality, set the paint spread. It certainly does move the paint. While the paint is wet like this, it'll stay open and you can do something. I've heavily textured this board. I'm not sure if I used the right word with gesso. Maybe I confused gesso with texture paste, but either way, I like the texture, but I think this is just a bit too heavy or too layered, like painting knife, which it was, for representational painting. So next time I do it, I'm going to use the brush and the spray and see what happens. So I just mixed in a bit of Viridian, with some lemon yellow or light yellow, just to cover the board. Okay. All right, I'm going to squeeze out some more paint to keep the brushes wet. So I want to reinvent my palette with some new colour. Sorry if I'm cutting across it. As that dries, I'll thicken it up a little bit. So I just put out some of this cheap acrylic, the Viridian, lovely colour, the Viridian. Let's just clean the dried paint out of the lid. Okay. Right. I hand some lemon yellow. This isn't the cheap stuff. Well, it is, but it's Reeves. I'm going to use quite a bit of that. All right, let's just carry on with that now. Get a thicker version. Just glaze over it, get heavier. You can glaze with PVA glue instead of using the water. I keep my little pot of diluted PVA glue handy if I want to use it. It's good stuff, and it gives if you use it, it gives a slight gloss to your work. Now that's quite nice. Now, I don't know where I'm going with this, but we've done quite a bit of each this week, a bit of representational, and a bit of abstract, a bit of impressionist work. So a bit of red. So let's just wet that paper. Let's see what happens as we sort of glaze over that. See if we can, I'm going to want to work in like a glazed pattern. The red and green. Oh, that's cadmium red. The cadmium red, the cheaper one I bought earlier in the week, is a bit crimsony, but very nice. But just having fun with the paint, you know, or a bit of orangey colour in there. Let's get that slightly changed in there. Oh, that's just a bit dry, so let's just right. Let's go back with some more green. Let's thicken up the green, viridian, and a bit of white in there, I think. Just merge. I've mixed a little bit of white with the viridian and the lemon yellow. So this is slightly a bluer green. It's just a pretty pattern, isn't it? Well, not even a pretty pattern, just blending those edges. It's a bit like Mark Rothko. Have you ever seen his his paintings in the Tate Modern? There's a room of them that absolutely, well, I think I've said before, I've read that people go to scoff at these great big huge paintings and come out praying. Strange, wonderful. You could sit down on the seating and just contemplate. It's a lovely experience. So of course he committed suicide, but he gave those paintings to the British nation, which was really lovely of him. Right, I want some orange in there. I want that green to sing a bit. I will do something in the middle here. So lemon yellow or light yellow. Some thicker stuff in there. Texture. Just a geometric sort of pattern, really. Okay. Maybe we can put one outside the box. Who knows? Now I'm dragging over those. That's drying a bit. I'm dragging over the high spots on that texture. It's subtly changing. That yellowy, orangey colour in there. Alright, going with the darker red in there now. Just a mental image. Right, what should we do now? Now I haven't gone in the middle deliberately. I don't know why it was deliberate, but I didn't. Let's get this virgin and white. I think that's quite a nice colour. Look. Floating images. I've done quite a bit of painting this week with 2 or 3 of those three coastal scenes which I really enjoyed doing. I want the images to sort of float out of the background. This brush now. This is made for acrylic painting, although we use it for our watercolours, for giving nice straight lines for yachts and things. Right, let's see if we can thicken up this green a bit. But too much of the white texture is showing through. But then again, it's what it is. It's a piece of painting that has no obvious meaning. I'm not thinking about anything other than just putting on paint and glazing over. It's a bit stripy, so we're going to thicken up that paint at the top of the this colour there. Oops. I don't want to make this too complicated. Oh, it's raining now. We've had some atrocious weather in northern Britain. We've got the tail end of that storm that took all that snow on North America. Right, we need to brighten up, I think, in the centre there now. I mean, if this looks obviously rubbish, then I won't upload it, but if it looks pretty in the frame. Right, what's the orange? Okay. So it's a red on green, isn't it? Red on green. What do you reckon? Let's put a bit more red up in this top left hand corner just to sort of balance that red block that's hanging there. The thing is, trying to get away from landscape, traditional or impressionist traditional stuff is proving to be very, very difficult. Oh, my brain is fighting to put a tree in, but I've got to overcome the temptation, the tyranny of the landscape. Right, I'm going to try to enhance some of those greens in here, some darker greens, maybe a bit of black with the lemon yellow, give a dark. That's, I think I prefer the brighter green. Yeah, that's so. I killed it a bit there with the black. Let's try lighter green. Let's drag over that. Try and brighten that up again. I'm going to dry this, so take your headphones off. Ooh, what's going on? I used to have one of those heat guns that for stripping paint off wood, and it wore out after many years. But if I held it close, the heat was such that it would frazzle the acrylic, and you get a nice texture to drag over. I wouldn't try it with this because of the thickness of that texture that I put on the plaster of Paris. But it does give nice texture, nice for dragging, but as I said earlier, that it tends to be okay for have these sort of paintings, but for landscape it's just too sort of mannered. Right, a bit more yellow in there. Right, I'm going to put that in a frame and see what we've done. Take my gloves off. These are good if you're using a lot of water. It's a good idea to wear gloves. I'll stop your hands drying out. Right, I've got the frame ready. Just bear with me. They always look 50% better in the frame, even if they're not very good. Excuse me a minute, I've got a little bit of green on that white insert there. That's right. Okay, so there we are, we've got a sort of an enigma. Let's bring the camera around. Well, it doesn't look too bad, does it? It's different. Nobody else has done anything like it. It's totally original. I wasn't copying anything. It's got the elements of landscape. It's got green for grass. It's got red for sunset. And orangey stuff for autumn. So it's not too far removed. Whoops. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It was a bit of fun, wasn't it? Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.